An inmate at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording of my call. Anything I need to know?
The only thing I can think of is Dorothy. You said, she said there was a problem with the fax number, and you said to mail it, and she replied back that she will mail it.
Okay. I was going to say if they have a fax to that place and they can't get through, I don't know if they can scan it and forward it back to you, and then perhaps you could fax it, because they sometimes do have problems with just phone issues in general up there. I don't know if the Office of Protocol has a fax line. The form that I had did not have a fax option, so I can't answer that. I was listening to the radio the other night. There was a guy that has a book and a website. The website is waronguns.com. Waronguns.com. His name is David, and I think the last name is Koga. I don't know if it's C-O-G-A or K-O-G-A or something like that. It's hard. I get very poor reception. However, this guy gets it from a constitutional, organic, original constitutional standpoint and where rights come from. And they were also talking about the Second Amendment Foundation. I got the number for the Second Amendment Foundation, tried to call them, they will not answer. Could be because it's coming from a jail, but it sounds like they're going after cases that the NRA and others won't go after. Like, there are people who's got legitimate good cases that are sitting in prison right now that were there for defending themselves against people trying to harm them, and because they are either black and, they had, like, the Black Lives Matter people try to get on board to help them. When those people try to get on board to help you, the NRA backs away fast because they don't want to have any assumption that they're affiliated with that group. Well, I think that's short-sighted, but apparently the Second Amendment Foundation doesn't care about anybody else helping. They take on cases. I don't have the ability to contact them. I've tried several times calling them today. They don't answer the phone. They don't accept the call. And if the number that I've got is correct, it's area code 425-454-7012. And I'm just throwing this out to the peanut gallery. Anybody that has the ability that wants to try to exercise some effort in this regard, God bless you and thank you. But I'm not directing this at anyone in particular. It's like the preacher here yesterday, lay minister, he was talking about a scenario. If your neighbor's house is on fire, the preacher in his church asked, what would you do? Would you pick up the phone and call 911? Would you sit back and just watch and make sure it didn't get your house on fire? Or would you pick up a garden hose? Well, he didn't say that. I said that. He said everything but pick up a garden hose and take responsibility. And he was talking about the people in general that when they see a crisis, they see their neighbor's house is on fire effectively. How many people will call for help? How many people will just make the excuse, well, had he had a good sprinkler system, it's his own fault because he should have had a battery smoke detector, and, he shouldn't have gone to work so early and forget and left the coffee pot on. He shouldn't. They will excuse it to death as to why it's his own fault, irregardless of what the true cause is, and that we ought to be there to try to help our neighbor.
Hey,
and I asked him
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, finish what you're saying. I got something else to tell you. It'll only take 1 minute.
I asked him, I said, well, what about picking up a garden hose and going over there and putting it out? I said, I actually had a neighbor whose house was on fire one morning. I went and turned on my garden hose, went there and banged on the door. Fortunately, they weren't there. I'm putting the fire out as I'm calling 911. The fire department shows up, and they tell me to get away, that I'm not supposed to be doing that, or that they'll have the cops arrest me. I said, the hell you will. I said, get your hoses out and get to work. Took them 15 minutes, and in the process, they went and they cut my garden hose at the spigot and turned my water off.
Wow.
And then the cops showed up, but it took them 15 minutes to hook up a hose before they sprayed the first bit of water. And what was a fire in their kitchen got into the attic and went to the whole house. The whole house had to be effectively rebuilt because of 15 minutes. And I'm sitting here putting water on a fire, putting the damn thing out, and they stopped me.
Yeah, I'm not
So
surprised.
my question to that preacher was, there's a man sitting right here, his house is on fire, his arm is broken, it's infected, he could get septic and die within 24 hours. What are you going to do, sit back and watch? You're going to call 911, i.e. the news media, or somebody, or are you just going to say, well, he did it to himself, he shouldn't have been locked up? He wouldn't have died in jail because he would have been able to go to a doctor.
Right.
He would not answer the question.
Yeah,
I challenge the challenger.
Sounds typical. Let me read you something that I just read on the internet. Just a second. Hi everyone, I got a letter here from my today. It says,
If you can't get closer, can you get closer to the phone? I can't hear you.
2018, to all, including the true United States of America government, Republic. I have just discovered that the courts and United States Corporation, which is owned by the Vatican, that the clerk for this courts is also the chaplain and trustee for the Sesti QV trusts that were created by the Crown Temple Bar Association for the Vatican in the year of 1666. Every trust in your name, in all cap letters, is a Sesti QV, is an identity theft fraud conducted by the very private U.S. Corp of the Vatican and soldiered by the Jesuits in the courts, which includes the Congress and Senate. As I have said before, I must get to the President. This is a tip of the iceberg in treason by a specific group of Zionist Jesuits. Pay attention, all of you. This is documented and of public record. The clerks are chaplain chief trustees in the courts for the Sesti QV trusts. You are all already enslaved, and this is how they did it to us all. Through the British certificates and the Social Security card.
You have
Birth
certificate.
Hendrickson of cracking the code is in part right, but doesn't go far enough. Time for everyone to step up, and I mean everyone. Out loud, all this is finally confirmed, and we know most everyone that is behind this. Stay tuned, something... Okay, so yeah, it's not British, it's birth certificates, and call Daryl McClanahan.
Okay. This is stuff I already know, and yeah, it goes through your birth certificate from the Secretary of State, and that's how they register and create the Sesquivu Trust, and they convert you into a trustee of the trust fund in the courtroom, and they become the beneficiary. And the clerk is involved as well as the prosecutor and the judge, and it's a trifecta where they all benefit and they all profit through the CRIS fund. What's his number again?
Oh, Daryl's? Shoot, I don't have it in front of me. Don't you have it?
I'm trying to look it up now, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it by the time.
Thank you for using GTL.
Yeah. Let's go.